items you need to know. We say all the time, every day's a Saturday, you can get retired. Tune in to Today and Tomorrow with Gary Thurman and Ty McIntosh. Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on the Talk Monster.
Hi, I'm Barbara Wilson. The number one brokerage firm in the city of market most qualified buyers. What makes a difference today in your area? Same thing. Custom market agent pre-finance. Chattanooga agent I trust is Cindi Jody. Her personalized market attracts more buyers and sells more homes. She can get in so far. Get the best market in your home. Go to rg423.com. What more money?
Savings are just a click away when you grab your sweet deal of the week on our website.
Visit Holidays Lumberjack in Joe and Pigeon Forge. Experience tree topping, jaw-dropping fun for the entire family. This $70 value is half off right now. You get 2 tickets for just $35. Want to get basic on 4 buys for the price of 1? You can with this deal for Vista Auto Mindset. This is a very limited offer with a chance to ditch your glasses and contacts for basic surgery and save 75% with great sweet deals from the Chattanooga Redwoods on a 10-ticket flex pack, and also you enjoy delicious sweets from Great American Cookies.
And if your business would like to be featured as a sweet deal of the week, grow your business with just one call. Call Deanna Roberts at 423-777-4629. Reach over 200,000 potential customers with a targeted advertising campaign with no hard cash cost to you. Log on now to WGOW.com.
Hey, it's Brian Jones, and I want to remind you to tune into Wellness Radio every Saturday morning right here on the Talk Monster, because your health and wellness are your greatest assets. So I Doctors Nathan and Rebecca Wolf every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Wellness Radio right here on Talk Radio 102.3. Life is expensive. Think about how great it would be to have an extra $25,000 to pick up the tab for life. 25 days payday for 10 and $100 and plan every weekday and qualify for the grand prize. $25,000 on wealthy Geo Bank. International Dealer, extra 95-819. Protect your life. No problem. No problem. All necessary information. Details of limited content for all now at WGOW.com. Talk Radio 102.3. This is Real Estate Today with Cindi Jody with the Richardson Group, your real estate experts in Southeast Tennessee. 20 years of experience serving the great Chapel area. Your hosts, Cindy Richardson, Joe Gatlin, and Jackie Miller here to answer your questions about buying, selling, and investing. Call or text the studio 267-1009. Also, answer your questions live on the Richardson Group Facebook page. You can also reach us at our office at 790-7979 or online. I'm so glad to be back live. We have had a very busy week with a lot going on. Jeff,
Hey, how are you?
glad to be joined by a very special guest.
So glad that you're with us. Yeah, he knows a little bit about this game. He's been around it his entire life. You know, Cindy and I have worked together 20 years, and one of my very first memories was Jordan building me into my desk literally with directional signs. So, you know, real estate's in his blood. And tell us where you work right now, Jordan.
Currently, I'm in abstract title in Cleveland, Tennessee, working on the MBA. Just trying to have a good time along the way.
Yeah, understanding both sides of this real estate craziness. So, if that doesn't tell you something about how invested we are, I don't know what does. But pretty exciting today. Today I can't talk. I'm sorry. For Tennessee fans, I think
And the
we're all-
weather is perfect for
Yeah.
football today.
actually might enjoy it. Things are starting to cool down just a little bit, so looking more like fall football weather that we've all been craving. I think.
I can't believe how fast it's cooled off. I mean, we went from in the 90s earlier this week to 70 something this morning.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what was it you were saying?
The summer was out of here as quick as this seller's market.
Absolutely. So, what kind of stuff are you guys hearing right now, Jack?
You know, for me, it's been a crazy week. We've had a lot of stuff going on nationwide. The Fed met this past week. They decided to go ahead and go with a 75 basis point jump over their projected 50 basis points that they had talked about for 2 months in an effort to slow down inflation. Their press release was recent indicators point to modest growth in spending and production, while job gains have been robust in recent months and the unemployment rate has remained low, which is very good that we're not starting to see that rise in unemployment yet.
Right.
I will say one thing that I was a little bit pleasantly surprised with this week is we've been crazy busy with multifamily and investment property and things of that sort. I know Cindy and I both listed, multifamily investment property, and I mean, within hours they were gone. So that's definitely an indicator for those of us that have been doing this for a little while that things are starting to shift a little bit, but still very, very healthy. I mean, Jordan, in your neck of the woods, as far as real estate's concerned, are you guys still pretty busy, seeing a lot of transactions and closings come through?
Well, to put it very bluntly, we're not seeing as much residential, but in terms of commercial, multifamily, and a lot of industrial stuff, we are seeing growth.
And that's, like I said, typically a pretty good indicator that things are shifting a little bit. And we're going to talk about that and why that's not necessarily scary or a bad thing. But that's a good indicator to us. A lot of times if people have money that they have invested or that they want to spend, real estate is a much more stable investment for that. So if you do have some money, if you've owned your primary home a very long time and you have some equity built up, now's the time to really maybe think about investing that.
The Dow being down is what's causing a whole lot of people to pull their investment
That
money
volatility,
out and
for sure.
going into real estate. Because even if the real estate market were to, as it does pull off or decelerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very typical of a bear market. You do see a big trend in that switch from stock market investing to real estate investing, and then as you cycle yourself back into a bull market and that stock market starts going back up, you then see that more increase into stock market investing.
Yeah.
Well, and we were talking yesterday when we were preparing for the show, a shifting market's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a little bit of a blessing. I spent all day with clients one day this week. And how many years, Cindy, has it been that you could spend all day with clients looking at homes?
Yeah, it's probably been since 2019.
Yeah, so the
18.
fact that people have some choices, they have a little bit of time to breathe. And, I know on our end, and Jordan can probably vouch for this, seeing settlement statements, but we're starting to see, some closing costs get paid and some concessions be made, and that's much more quote unquote normal as compared to what we've been seeing for the last couple of years.
Yeah, no more sight unseen full price.
Yeah, over full price, no inspections.
Except on
whole 9 yards.
multifamily.
Yeah, unless you have a multifamily.
Right.
Now,
and what's amazed me is nobody is going under that traditional 1% rule because we seeing mortgage or rent rates increase. You're seeing that the multifamilies, the amount of rent on them is just so much better.
Yeah, people are maybe buying things that don't necessarily cash flow for the purchase price, but there's the potential, when that person's lease is up, the rental potential is sometimes double, triple, even 4 times what they're currently getting.
And that's when we sell a whole lot of them, is when you've had somebody that's owned one for so long and they'll say, oh, well, I've had this tenant here for 5 years. Well, yes, you have, and you've not increased the rent in 5 years, so now it's substantially below where it should be. So that's when people look at selling
And I
properties,
think
when they're not cash flow.
at the end of the day, I've said it a million times, they're not making more dirt. So owning real estate is historically one of the safest investments that you can make. So even if it's not necessarily making you money now, the risk of drastically losing your investment is pretty slim to none.
Well, and that's what we were talking about on our way here, that real estate is not a short-term investment. So if you're looking for a short-term investment, this is probably not your, what you need to be investing in. Because
I loved the quote. We've all laughed about it. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Is really kind of the mindset that we should have in this sort of a market.
Yeah, because even if, and I'm not saying they're going to, even if prices do back up a little bit, it just may be a year or two before you get back to where you were or where you are right now. So, I mean, again, you're not buying as an investment. You're not buying for a short term.
And I think it's important, like you said, to understand that when you make a real estate investment, it's a long-term investment. And historically, that's the way that it's been. So if you go at it that way, I think you're good. I think we were all, and you guys correct me, I know I was a little, I almost feel like the feds maybe tapped the brakes a little too hard. So they lessened up a little bit, and we all were getting reports that things had come down, and they did. Now they've gone back up again, and we were laughing. I think the biggest indicator for us is anytime there's an interest rate hike, the showings on our listings kind of stop.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I was talking to one of the agents that works for one of the big national builders yesterday, and I asked how they were, if they were feeling it. She said absolutely, and they've actually lightened their restrictions a little bit and started allowing investors to buy in some of their subdivisions. So, I mean, it's something that you feel across the board, but unfortunately in our industry too, you don't necessarily see as much in the reports. Right now, we feel it and we know what's going on, but you don't see the numbers on paper until a month or two down the road because we work 30 to 45 days in arrears. So August reports were things that were done in June and July.
Well, and I think the overall theme as we were preparing for today's show, I mean, our plan today is we're going to help you get ready to buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that was kind of the resounding as the four of us were talking, preparing for the show, was in our careers, we've seen a little bit of everything. We have been in real estate through 9/11, through a pandemic, through a housing boom, through a crash, one of the most significant crashes in the history of real estate in the United States. We've lived through all those things, and I think that makes us powerful because we don't panic because we've been there. You know, Cindi and I were talking yesterday. She listed a home on 9/11 and it closed within 30 days.
Right.
I think the resounding theme for us is life happens. Life is going to continue to happen. And what your needs are and what your motivation is always going to be there. People are always going to be getting jobs, losing jobs, having children, becoming empty nesters. Life doesn't stop happening because of what's going on in the world, and your needs don't necessarily stop changing.
Right.
Our job is to help walk you through that and help you navigate that without it being scary. So I think the biggest thing that we're going to touch on today is life isn't going to stop happening. What can you do to be ready? Historically, what does that look like? And what we can do to help you get there.
Well, I think probably one of the biggest things that people are talking about right now is the interest rates and where we're at on that. Because right now you do have your 30-year fix that is around 6%. So when we're looking at mortgage rates over the last 30 years, how does that look, Jack?
Over the last 30 years, coming into the late 90s, we were still well above that 6% range. And actually as high as in the teens in the 80s when we were coming out of the last recession. We've seen that come down, and yes, we've seen rates as low as that 3% mark. But the general consensus is that they were left at that rate for too long of a period.
Right.
That's not a healthy rate to sustain a healthy market.
Yeah. Well, that's why we begin to see this inflation the way that it is.
And we have to remember that the Fed lowered those rates for a purpose, and that was to try and fix the issues of 2008. And it just stayed there for so long that these natural increases are happening.
Absolutely. Okay, so it looks like we have a caller, Tom. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Got a question about interest rates and what all affects them. Right now, they're, of course, raising interest rates to curb inflation, but while they're doing that, Congress, the White House, are on the other end of that, kind of canceling that out by spending millions and trillions more dollars. So it's like trying to put out a fire on one end of the house while somebody is striking matches on the other side of the house.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that in the car this morning.
What is your projection, if you have one, over the next 30 years? Not looking back over the last 30 years, but let's say the next 10 years, 10 to 20 years. What would cause mortgage interest rates to start coming down, in your opinion, or how does that work?
Jack, you want that or you want me to?
Yeah, I think the big thing over the next 10 years is you've got to look at what's really infecting the inflation side of it. We've got supply shutdowns on the pandemic side. You've got some big international incidents that are affecting things that you don't think about. Two major producers of grain for the world are in the middle of a war right now, and that you think, well, of grain. That's bread, but that's food for cattle. That's, a heartline of part of an international economy. If those things begin to calm themselves down and we can slow down our inflation, nobody really knows how high they're going to get. We've heard people say probably as high as 8-9% by the end of the year. It's very hard to tell.
Yeah.
Big thing. Well, and we were looking at something earlier, and we were just kind of looking at the time it took to come out of the 07, 08, and that was actually, it took about 6 years for that to kind of work itself back out. And you kind of watch rates over the history of the last 10 years. They got really high as they tightened lending, and the lenders went in, government regulation, they really tightened a lot of that mortgage lending requirements. You are starting to see some of that they never really loosened them up after that, but you're starting to see some more tightening there. Where the big thing is they're looking at trying to protect that from a foreclosure situation. They don't really want to lend to someone who is at risk of defaulting. Now, I understand life events happen. That's going to be a big driver for it. You lose your job, you're a two-income. You have to be a two-income family to own a home. Granted, your home payment is now 45% of your monthly income, and one person loses the job. That's a major life effect that you can't get out of. So you're in a position you either sell it or you get foreclosed on.
I think the thing too is we're all looking for stability, and the answer is not crazy low 2% interest rates, but it's also not 10% interest rates. And Cindy and I have had the conversation before, just over the last 20 years, really when the market, and I know this is not a popular opinion, but when the market and the economy are the most healthy, interest rates are hovering around 6%. Typically,
6.5%.
6 to 6.5%. We've just gotten so used to 2.25%, 1.75 interest rates. It's a great economy, and we're all reaping the benefits, but we're also now starting to pay the price for that. So, a healthy, stable market is right there around 6%.
Right.
So super low is not good, but 10% is not good either.
And just something to, Tom, I don't know how old you are, but if you look back to the late 70s, early 80s, when we just left the Carter administration, overspending from the government, bad issues all at hand. Early Reagan, we had interest rates hitting upwards 18, 19% to try and fix the economy. So if we look back just to the early 80s, we can see a trend that we can follow today. And it has to depend on government spending. It has to do with how we as consumers react to this market. If we go crazy, we're going to see it's going to last a long time. If we just stick to course, spend within our means, and don't blow ourselves out, that's what's going to create a healthy economy again.
Yeah, I remember the mid to upper 80s really well, because that's when I was newly married and couldn't afford a home because the interest rates were around 15%.
Yeah.
But fortunately, rental rates were very modest. And I don't know at that time what drove that, but there was investment in rental properties, but rental agreements or leases were not overinflated. I mean, I can remember renting a 2-bedroom house or a 2-bedroom brand new apartment for around $220. 2-bedroom. It was in a multi-unit, but I think it was only like 6 or 8 units, brand new units, and we stayed there for probably 5 years until interest rates started coming down, and I was making more money. Finally, was able to afford that first house with incentives like THDA and first-time home buyer, and
Absolutely.
that's how we got in our first house. So.
Right. Well, and when we come back from break, we're going to talk a little bit about that too, about how people, because unfortunately we've got a really inflated rental market now. So the opposite happening right now. And we'll touch base on that a little bit more. But Tom, we appreciate you so much. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thanks for all the information you give out.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Guys, we're going to stop with a quick break. When we come back today on Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, we're going to talk more about the steps to prepare you to be financially healthy and ready to purchase a new home. This is Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody.
Don't miss a minute weekdays, starting at 8. We have 10 chances for you to win $100. Text the national keyword to 95819. 10 chances a day for the 100. Winners qualify for $25,000. Listen to win on Talk 102.3.
Do you have questions on buying or selling your house? The real estate experts Cindi and Jody of the Richardson Group have all the tips and answers for you. Tune in to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, Saturday mornings from 9 to 10.
Are you in trouble with the IRS? Clara was too until she called Civic Tax Relief.
Dealing with the IRS was a stressful time. When I got a hold of Civic Tax Relief, all that stress was taken away. It made the process easy.
Call for a free consultation. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908. Discover all the relief programs you qualify for in the first free call. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
Paid for by Bar Justice. Attention. Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months? Zantac may be linked to these cancers: bladder, colorectal, esophageal, intestinal, kidney, liver, ovarian, pancreatic, stomach, testicular, and uterine. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with cancer after using Zantac or other heartburn medications for several months, call now. Never stop taking medication without first consulting a physician. Call right now for a free consultation. Call 800-379-9550. 800-379-9550.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I built the #1 brokerage firm in New York City by marketing luxury homes to the most qualified buyers. What makes the difference today in your area? The same thing. Custom marketing to the right buyers. In Chattanooga, the agent I trust is Cindi Richardson. Her personalized marketing plan attracts more buyers and sells more homes for more money. She can even give you an instant offer. Get the best marketing for your home. Go to rg423.com and put more money in your pocket.
The best decisions are usually based on experience and trust. Hey, this is Quake. With nearly 10,000 five-star reviews, Mark Spain Real Estate is the most trusted and experienced real estate team in the United States. And with their guaranteed offer, you can receive an all-cash offer and move when you're ready. Don't worry about the hassle of constant cleaning and making costly repairs. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Their guaranteed offer keeps you in control. One of their clients, Sonia, said, not only did Mark Spain Real Estate provide excellent service, but they also made sure we got the best deal. We will be using them again for all of our real estate needs. Mark Spain Real Estate was named the #1 real estate company in the U.S. for closed transactions by the Wall Street Journal. Why? They know what matters most: a quick sale and maximum profit. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
The Medicare store by Affordable Medicare Plans is not affiliated with Medicare or any other government agency.
Did you know that you can continue to work and have Medicare instead of your group coverage? Many times at a lesser cost with even greater benefits. Call the Medicare store on Highway 58 and schedule a time to compare your costs today. 355-5700.
Talk Radio 102.3.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. Get your real estate questions answered on the air. Call or text 267-1023. We're also answering questions live on the Richardson Group Facebook page. Guys, I know we had a great conversation in the first segment. We talked a lot of things about what's going on internationally, what we're seeing on rates and things like that. Cindi, what are some of the other questions that we're kind of having to field from the public right now?
I think probably the big question, will I lose money if I buy now?
Depends. Are you going to live in it for 3 months, or are you going to plan to have a family and live your life? Is it a lifestyle purchase or is it an investment purchase?
Right. And I mean, the answer to that is we don't know. I mean, but life goes on, and you still need a place to live. So your choices are to buy with interest rates at, 6 to 6.5 or rent.
And I mean, we talked a lot yesterday about, life happening, things happening, and kind of talking back to our own situations when we bought our first homes, what that looked like, where we were in our life. And the fact of the matter is, most home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, we get caught in this bubble. We have a very small world. We live in real estate. It's what we do all day, every day. Most people, including myself when I first purchased, don't truly don't really care that much about the interest rate. You care
Right.
about what your payment is, how that fits into your budget. And the important thing to remember is when you're renting something, you are paying 100% interest. You're paying your landlord's payment. So 6% interest doesn't really sound as scary. I think, one of the things that we talked about too, I'm in my early 40s. When I purchased my very first home, my generation, and I think I'm considered a millennial, I'm right on the old edge of that, but the very beginning of that generation, people my age were still under the impression, the school of thought, because we had parents who bought homes at 18% interest and had to put 20% down. I saved up 20% to buy my first home because that's what my options were at the time. And my point in saying that is not, we live in a world now where it's a blessing that we have programs like FHA, THDA, those government,
USDA.
yeah, that allow you to get into a home without that huge down payment. But to answer your question, we are still well below the national average as far as home prices are concerned. I think we're probably squeaking up to it. But for so long, we've really been much lower than the rest of the country. I don't necessarily think that you have to be afraid of losing money. And I think one of the things that we talked about is this is not 08. It's not a situation where people are using every cent that they have to get into a house.
Right.
And, let's say worst case scenario, you have to move in 2 years. My prediction is that you're not going to make 22% appreciation in 2 years, but that I can probably get you out of it with not bringing money to closing.
But you're also not going to pay as much if we can get this appreciation under control.
Absolutely.
Because you're absolutely right. Over the last couple of years, we've been getting 20% appreciation per year, and that is just unbelievable. I mean, if you bought a home 3 years ago, your appreciation is
and
through
I
the
think
roof.
that it's important that when you really understand the reason behind that, behind the increase in interest rates, and Jordan made a really good point, it's really kind of all on us about how we react to that, because the whole goal is what the reaction of that is. And, I think number one, the thing that people have to think about is you don't want to put yourself in a situation, and like I said, people care about what they can afford monthly. So step number one, go to a lender. Find out what your payment can be, and then compare that to what you can rent. And it's usually pretty eye-opening to people because you can afford more home than you think you can.
And there's benefits to each one, because if you rent and your hot water heater goes out, then you can call the owner to come repair the hot water heater. But then as an owner, you also are going to be able to deduct your interest off for your taxes and file a head of household, and there's just some more benefits, plus you get the appreciation. And again, no, we're probably not going to look at 20% appreciation, but even in raising interest rates and doing what they're doing right now, I think Jack and I were looking, they're still going to be lucky if they can get appreciation under 15% by the end of this year. So, and in a normal market leading up to this, normal appreciation was 3 to 5% per year.
If you got 5%, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, you made a great investment if you got 5% per year, and now we've been at 20% for the last few years.
And I think the thing on our end and on Jordan's end, seeing how much money people are walking away with after closing over the last 20 years, historically, it was normal to see somebody walk away with $10,000 or $15,000, and now we're seeing people walk away with $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, and they've only been in their homes a couple of years. So, that points to that. One of the really eye-opening things for me when we were getting information together is that 56% of Americans don't have an extra $1,000 in the bank, and a lot of that points to inflation. So, we have to get it in control. And like Cindi said, it may not be the right time right now for you, but it is the right time to find out where you're at,
right?
And what you can afford and where that is and how it works into your budget, because then it'll help you make an educated decision on if your hot water heater goes out, do you have the money to repair that? Do you have the money for a down payment? Things like, and I'm going to sidetrack just 2 seconds, but I think it's important to educate people. What is PMI? Cindi, explain
that
that.
is private mortgage insurance. If you don't put at least 20% down on your loan, loan, you're going to get charged PMI.
Unless you use what programs eliminate PMI.
They don't necessarily eliminate it. They have a different name for it. FHA, VA, USDA, they have a type of, and what that is, it's an insurance policy taken out by the mortgage company that you're going to pay.
Protects them, yeah.
Just have to pay it.
Right, because putting less money down, you're more likely to default on the loan. So it is an insurance for the lender.
It also increases your monthly payment, is the reason that I brought that up. So there are some benefits. There's a reason why people say put 20% down, because it lowers your monthly payment. So is it maybe you need to spend a few months living quote unquote below your means to save up the 20% so that you can afford where you need to be, but you don't know unless you know.
Right.
And something that me and Cindy actually discussed a few days ago is 20% down has always been the golden number that everyone knows. Talk to a lender. Work out the math. I think the other day you and I figured out that as it stands right now on a 30-year conventional, like 15% is more advantageous than a 20%.
Because when you hear interest rates vary depending on the type of mortgage that you get, what percent you put down, and what your credit score are. And when we were playing with a website the other day, you could get a better interest rate by putting 15% down than you could by 20. And I think that's because so many people think 20, that's automatically where they go to. Whereas with the site that we were looking at, if you did 15 or 25, you actually got a better interest rate than doing just a straight 20.
And I think there's still some lenders, we would have to ask Angel at CMG. We'd have to ask her to clarify, but I think there's still some conventional mortgages with as little as 5%, you know, and there are some advantages to doing a conventional mortgage versus something else as far as interest rates are concerned.
I think they can go down as low as 2%.
Yeah, so it's important for you to understand what type of loans you qualify for, how much money you need to qualify for those, and what that looks like overall long term for you as far as affordability. So, you know, don't let 6% be the knee jerk, the knee jerk scary number.
Look at your payment.
So I think the question is, will I lose money? No. If you go into it educated, you're smart about how you do it.
Right.
And
you're not looking at it as a short-term investment.
Yeah, use an agent that gives you timely and accurate marketing information or market information, and then you look at it as an investment that you may have to stay in 5 years.
Yeah. And I think you're less likely to lose money now than you were even a year ago when people were paying over asking price and over appraisal.
No appraisal,
values.
that we couldn't back up.
I mean, at bare minimum, you look at your house as an investment, I would encourage at least staying in it for 2 years. That way you get a tax break on it.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, we're going to talk more about the questions that need to be answered regarding real estate today in Chattanooga and Southeast Tennessee. This is Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody on Talk Radio 102.3.
WGOW, your source for breaking news.
They know what's going on in the city.
Talk Radio 102.3, WGOW FM.
Do you have questions on buying or selling your house? The real estate experts Cindi and Jody of the Richardson Group have all the tips and answers for you. Tune in to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, Saturday mornings from 9 to 10.
You've probably heard about dental implants, but do you know what they are? An implant is a titanium screw that permanently attaches a replacement tooth. At Chattanooga Dental, we can use implants to replace teeth one at a time, or use a few implants to lock in a whole new set of teeth. In the past, old-fashioned dentures were your best option, but they can be uncomfortable and unreliable. Implants give you permanent new teeth that look and feel so good you may forget they're not your original teeth. With implants, you'll eat what you want and never be afraid to show your amazing new smile.
I'm Dr. Michael Hernandez from Chattanooga Dental Care. We've helped thousands of your friends and neighbors, and implants are a big part of that. If you want to visit us, or even if you just have a question, give us a call.
Come see Dr. Hernandez and the whole team at Chattanooga Dental Care. Call or text 423-499-9300. That's 499-9300, or online at ChattanoogaDentalCare.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I
built the #1 brokerage firm in New York City by marketing luxury homes to the most qualified buyers. What makes the difference today in your area? The same thing. Custom marketing to the right buyers. In Chattanooga, the agent I trust is Cindi Richardson. Her personalized marketing plan attracts more buyers and sells more homes for more money. She can even give you an instant offer. Get the best marketing for your home. Go to rg423.com and put more money in your pocket.
Savings are just a click away when you grab your sweet deal of the week on our website.
Visit Paula Dean's Lumberjack Feud Show in Pigeon Forge. Experience tree-topping, jaw-dropping fun for the entire family. This $70 value is half off right now, meaning you get 2 tickets for just $35. Want to get LASIK on both eyes for the price of one? You can with this sweet deal from DiStefano Eye Center. This is a very limited offer with a chance to ditch your glasses and contacts with LASIK surgery. And save 75% with great sweet deals from the Chattanooga Red Wolves on a 10-ticket flex pack. And also to enjoy delicious treats from Great American Cookies.
And if your business would like to be featured as a sweet deal of the week, grow your business with just one call. Call Deanna Roberts at 423-777-4629. Reach over 200,000 potential customers with a targeted advertising campaign with no hard cash cost to you. Log on now to WGOW.com.
Do you have questions on buying or selling your house? The real estate experts Cindi and Jody of the Richardson Group have all the tips and answers for you. Tune in to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, Saturday mornings from 9 to 10.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I built the #1 brokerage firm in New York City by marketing luxury homes to the most qualified buyers. What makes the difference today in your area? The same thing. Custom marketing to the right buyers. In Chattanooga, the agent I trust is Cindi Richardson. Her personalized marketing plan attracts more buyers and sells more homes for more money. She can even give you an instant offer. Get the best marketing for your home. Go to rg423.com and put more money in your pocket.
Talk Radio 102.3 FM, the Talk Monster.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. Get your real estate questions answered on the air. Call or text 267-1023. We're also answering questions live on the Richardson Group Facebook page. Guys, Real Estate Today is presented by Offers Instantly, the easiest way to sell your home. I know a lot of times there are a lot of situations that you encounter that are outside of your control. If you need help, you want a guaranteed offer on your home in 24 hours, no showings, repairs, negotiations, and best of all, no problems. Go to offersinstantly.com or call 205-INFO for more details. Each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated. Cindi, I think the #1 question that we have had asked of us in the last 4 months is the market going to crash?
Right. No, the market's not going to crash, and I don't think you're going to find any credible economist tell you the market's going to crash, because this is very different than the way it was back in 2008. When you look at even criteria for lending, lending has been very tight. It has been ever since 2008. It actually tightened up even more around 2019. So it's not that predatory lending that we were seeing back in 2005 and 6.
And I think that's important to point out why that created kind of the perfect storm. You know, Jordan made a good point during break, and he's like, no, the market's not going to crash. Is it going to be a little painful? Possibly for a moment or two. But the thing that we saw, and we started to kind of call it, we started to call a spade before it really happened. We were seeing things like, you're with a client and you think there's no way. I mean, you get to know people and you get to know their situation. And I've got, Jane and John that are going to buy their first home, and they've got 2 brand new cars and 3 kids, and she's a stay-at-home mom and he's self-employed, and they can spend $250,000. And we'd been doing it long enough at that point to be like, I don't know. And he would say things like, oh, well, all I had to do was tell him what I made, and my payment's going to be this right now, and in 5 years it'll go up to this, but I'll be okay. And I mean, I can remember coming back and saying, what? How are they getting a loan? How is that? And that's not my business. It's not my job to be in your business, but it is my job to protect your interests. And I think the thing that we all can see, and lenders obviously can see, is that's where the problem was. that when we say predatory lending, it was lending homes to people that could fog a mirror, that could not afford them, with this childlike optimism that we'd figure out a way. It's like putting a bunch of money on a credit card and saying, "Oh, I'll be able to pay it off later."
And the bank doing absolutely no real due diligence.
None. I mean, literally, they had stated income loans. Are you kidding me? I could walk into a bank and say, "Hi, my name's Jody. I make $4.2 million a year," and they would say, "Okay, Jody, sign the line," and you got a house. It was that simple. They were also doing that with builders. So, sure, build 58 homes tomorrow. Do it all at once. It'll be great. Well, then when the bottom dropped out, you had all these people that legitimately could not afford the situation they were in, and that's not negative on anybody. The bottom fell out, but then we had this abundance of inventory and people that were not qualified to buy it. So I think the one smart thing that the government has done is tighten up those lending requirements.
Right. And we're not going to see the foreclosures that we saw back then.
When you look at that chart, it's 08 lending requirements were so loose. Now they're down here, and they've really kind of leveled off. They've stayed there for how long now?
Since 2008.
So,
and like I said, they tightened up again in 2019.
That is the protection.
And in foreclosures, I mean, when you look at the foreclosure amounts, as of second quarter this year, you had 214,800 people that could possibly be facing foreclosures nationwide. That is less than 0.4% of the current 58 million homeowners. So that mortgages. So I mean, that is a very, very low rate of foreclosures.
Yeah, and even the 2021 foreclosure activity was only 151,000. We're actually filing foreclosure. But that's compared to 2010 at the peak, which was over 2 million.
Right. Well, back up even pre-pandemic, when the market was very normal in 08 and 19 or 2018 and 19. You had 18 foreclosures were 624,000 in 2018. That was a normal market, and then it dropped down in 2019 to 498,000. So even that is normal numbers. And then in 2020 or 2021 being 151,000. Now I know a lot of that had to do with some of the things that were in place, but you can see even with that it wasn't even, what is that, 30% of what it was in 2019.
And let's talk about economy recovery from 07 to 15. Yeah, 07 to 15, foreclosures were consistently over 1 million in this country.
Close to 3 million at the peak.
To say 151,000 is a tiny
Correct.
drop in the bucket. And if you take that back even to 05 and 06, which was more of a historically, comfortable market, you're 533,000 and 718,000. We're at 151,000 last year.
Right.
That is, people are not losing their homes, and we're seeing everybody wants there to be this rash of, I'm going to wait and have an investment and buy something. We're not seeing that, and that's a good thing.
Hey guys, Walt has been nice enough to call in this morning. Walt, how are you doing today?
Hey, just fine. Good crispy morning.
Hey, Walt, it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, nice for a change. My question is, I'm in about a $450,000 house. The deck needs replaced. I had a cost of $40,000 given to me. I just want to know what y'all's thoughts on that was. Is it a sunk cost? Does it add value, or what do y'all think about that?
It doesn't. It's going to add sellability, not necessarily value, but sellability, because you expect to have a deck or something on the back. So kind of think of it like a car. You can't expect to sell a car without having, wheels on it. You've got to have something back there. Now, honestly, if it's not a safety hazard, I'm not sure I would replace it at that kind of, at that expense. I would probably hold off a little bit longer until building materials come down a little bit more, because they are coming down. They are getting more reasonable. And as we see, more the unemployment rate go up, we're going to see more people available to do some of these jobs, which is going to help with the cost of that. So you may want to
thought about that.
You may want to hold off until like maybe even December, January, and just see where we're at on cost and get it again. And that's assuming it's not a safety hazard.
Oh, and I think the other thing too, that's a lot of money for a deck. So if the deck,
I thought so.
Well, if the deck is a huge focal point of your home, or you have a large outdoor entertaining area and it's essential, then yeah, you probably want to put it back like it is when you do decide to do that. But I'm with Cindy, I'd probably hold
Okay.
off. On the other end of that, if it's not, maybe think about making it smaller.
Yeah,
You
is there
know, you don't-
something special about the deck that makes
that's
it
an
so
idea.
expensive? Walt, is there something special about the deck that makes it so expensive? Is it
large or multi-levels or?
No, it's just one level. It's on one level, low level. I got a quote on the composite. I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Trex deck.
I guess the high end composite, but even they said the real wood was even probably three-fourths that amount, getting up to 30,000.
And here's the thing
So
with
I was
composite.
surprised.
Like Cindy said, it's going to help your house sell, but you're not going to get that investment back.
Right.
And if you're fixing it up with the thoughts that you may sell it, go back with real wood. If you're doing it because you love it and it makes you happy and that's where you spend time every night, do composite. It's a great investment, but you're not going to get your money back.
Hey, Walt, are they doing a full tear down and rebuild, or are they just reskinning the deck boards?
It's a full tear down. From what I've gathered is that most licensed companies have to tear it down, or that's their policy in addition to whatever codes there are now.
Yeah,
they tear it completely and then start from scratch.
You've got
the labor
demo labor, rebuild labor, plus structural framing, and then everything getting that in. Yeah, that's going to add a little bit to the cost on that side, but yeah, definitely, I would wait until some of those materials actually start dropping back down, and especially as guys quit, as they slow down, they will start looking for discounting jobs to try and keep working during the winter and the slow season. So that may be work to your advantage.
Right.
Those are that helps tremendously. I appreciate y'all's show and thank you very much.
Thanks for
listening.
listening,
Thank you so much, guys. We're going to step away and take our last break for the morning. When we come back, we're going to answer some more questions that we are fielding from the public. Guys, this is Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody on Talk Radio 102.3.
$100 10 times every weekday. Text the national keyword to 95819 for your chance to win $100. Grand prize, $25,000. Once an hour, starting at 8 on Talk 102.3.
Do you have questions on buying or selling your house? The real estate experts Cindi and Jody of the Richardson Group have all the tips and answers for you. Tune in to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, Saturday mornings from 9 to 10.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I built the #1 brokerage firm in New York City by marketing luxury homes to the most qualified buyers. What makes the difference today in your area? The same thing, custom marketing to the right buyers. In Chattanooga, the agent I trust is Cindi Richardson. Her personalized marketing plan attracts more buyers and sells more homes for more money. She can even give you an instant offer. Get the best marketing for your home. Go to rg423.com and put more money in your pocket.
The market roller coaster is back. Find out what it means for your retirement on Retirement Straight Talk with Morgan Hill, Sunday at 10, right here on the Talk Monster.
In retirement, it's all about income. To learn how to create sustainable retirement income in your portfolio, join Nathan Cox and Lindsay Cotter for Retirement Income Solutions, Sunday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 102.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I built the #1 brokerage firm in New York City by marketing luxury homes to the most qualified buyers. What makes the difference today in your area? The same thing, custom marketing to the right buyers. In Chattanooga, the agent I trust is Cindi Richardson. Her personalized marketing plan attracts more buyers and sells more homes for more money. She can even give you an instant offer. Get the best marketing for your home. Go to rg423.com and put more money in your pocket.
It's 3 days big. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Markman's is opening that huge vault with at least 20 up to 70% off everything from the vault. A multi-million-dollar inventory of wedding bands, anniversary bands, engagement settings from Christopher, Simon G. Everything from Markman's vault is up to 70% off. It only happens once a year. This is the time to lay away for Christmas or any special moment. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Markman's outside Hamilton Place.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. I built the #1 brokerage firm in New York City by marketing luxury homes to the most qualified buyers. What makes the difference today in your area? The same thing. Custom marketing to the right buyers. In Chattanooga, the agent I trust is Cindi Richardson. Her personalized marketing plan attracts more buyers and sells more homes for more money. She can even give you an instant offer. Get the best marketing for your home. Go to rg423.com and put more money in your pocket.
Do you have questions on buying or selling your house? The real estate experts Cindi and Jody of the Richardson Group have all the tips and answers for you. Tune in to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody, Saturday mornings from 9 to 10.
Have you ever noticed TDOT or Public Works employees pressure washing and resealing concrete bridges or roads? No? Me neither! That's because they apply a true penetrating permanent sealer to concrete roads and bridges when they're built, extending the life of the concrete and reducing maintenance. This technology has been around for ages, but not applicable or affordable for homeowners like me and you. Until now, my friend Steve Nelson and his team over at EverSeal provide a permanent solution for sealing your concrete and exterior wood at a price that you and I could actually afford, preventing further deterioration for the next 30 to 50 years. Can you believe it? It works on a brand new construction just as well as old. And you get a 25-year manufacturer-backed guarantee that's transferable if you sell your home. Add value to your home and eliminate maintenance with EverSeal. On-site estimates are always free, so call EverSeal today to schedule yours at 844-EVER-USA or 844-383-7872 or on the web at ever-seal.com. EverSeal. Check it out. You'll be glad you did.
Talk Radio 102.3.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today with Cindi and Jody. If you missed a part of the show, watch the replay of this show and others on the Richardson Group Facebook page and YouTube channel. All right, last question of the day. Are prices going to drop?
We still got Rocky Top going in the background over
Well,
here.
I know. That's what.
You say that like that's a problem.
Not
Jody.
one person wooed. I'm so disappointed in you guys.
I threw the fist.
That's the best part of the whole song, and nobody wooed.
Everyone is saving their voice
For the game.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Like true fans.
Absolutely. Not one woo up in here.
Okay, price is going to drop. We don't know. I mean, there's the gist of it, but do I think it's going to? No. We need to quit accelerating for the pace that we're accelerating at. So to see 20% appreciation year over year, we cannot continue at that pace. So even to get back down to a normal market pre-pandemic, where we were getting 3 to 5% appreciation per year, we're going to have to flatten out a little bit more before we can get there.
And I know this is where me and Cindi disagree. Just looking at the supply-demand logistics of this, I believe that prices aren't going to drop. I think we're going to see a plateau of pricing over the next 2 to 3 years.
I'm not seeing a lot of price decreasing because there's still such a shortage of inventory. We were pulling numbers yesterday. The total residential doors versus the population is staggering. The need for affordable, available housing in this area. But the thing that really I am seeing that's eye-opening for me is concessions.
Yeah.
Sellers aren't coming off the price, but they're paying closing costs. They're leaving appliances. They're allowing a longer closing date. They're okay with you having a home to sell. Those
Or
are
an
all very
inspection.
are all very normal parts of a real estate deal that we have forgotten because we haven't seen them in the last 2 years.
Things aren't going $40,000, $50,000
With
over
no
asking.
appraisal and no inspection, which is asinine. So being in a quote unquote slowing market is not necessarily a bad thing. We're going to keep saying that to you over and over again.
It's not a slowing market. It's just not
Stabilizing.
appreciating as
Yes.
fast as it was.
Yes.
And we say as fast as it was, but I think last month appreciation was still at 18%, Jack?
Yeah, 18%.
So
a normal market is 3 to 5.
Right, but we've been at
healthy
20
market.
over the last
Yeah.
couple of years, and we've managed to slow it down to 18%. So if you tell me I need to lose, 5 pounds, and I'm still, 18 pounds heavy, I'm still a little too heavy.
Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
I think one of the things that we're seeing, and the people that I'm talking to, and you get out and you watch YouTube, and everyone has an opinion on YouTube and Facebook and everything like that. But what everybody is hoping for is the analogy of you are pulling up to a stop sign, and instead of stepping on the brake, they want you to slam the car in reverse. That would be the same catastrophic effect as if we were to start seeing massive depreciation. It would be an absolute horrific thing. And yes, they are raising rates. They're doing all these things. the whole thing is to not cause a
And
catastrophic.
everybody wants that catastrophic. I'm going to wait until prices drop. I'm going to wait until the market. You don't want that.
No, because
We
we're still
don't want that.
appreciating at 18%
And the
right
housing
now.
market,
It's going up.
whether people realize it or not, the housing market drives the economy in the United States. Nobody needs the housing market to slam in reverse right now. That's not what we need. What we need is you to be smart. Talk to people that can help you. Stay ahead of the curve.
We're not going back to 2008. Now, we would all like to go back to 2018. So hopefully that's where we end up, but right now we are still not slow. It's not backing up to back.
And the thing that really, I think, supports the idea that prices are not going to increase, but are going to about remain the same, is the fact that people have blown through their savings accounts right now. We don't have down payments. We are not seeing the same level of control of the market because there's not as much money being pumped in.
Yeah.
You can give us so much money, but at the end of the day, if people have spent their money, they're not having to spend it to survive, we're not going to see increase in price because money's not chasing the same good.
So we've said multiple times, first thing you need to do is talk to a lender, figure out where you are. Jack, who should they
You
call?
need to call Angel Sherlin. Call Angel Sherlin at 423-421-7900. And if you need help looking for a home or you have questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, give us a call at our office, 790-7979. Guys, it was great to get to talk with you guys this morning. Thank you so much for the calls. Guys, hope you'll have a great weekend and go Vols.
Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. 'Cause we